some more respect.
Okay, we are live on YouTube.
And you can take your mask off when you talk if you're going to take mine off.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. The Court of Appeals of the State of Kansas is now in session. The Honorable Chief Justice, Chief Judge Karen Arnoldberger presiding.
Thank you, Doug. Good morning. The Kansas Court of Appeals is convened today in special Zoom session, a first for us, to swear in our recently appointed judge, the Honorable Amy Fellows Cline. I am Karen Arnoldberger, Chief Judge of the Kansas Court of Appeals, and I'd like to take a moment to thank first the person you just saw, Doug Shima, the Clerk of the Appellate Courts, and Richard Opitz, who is with our Information Technology Department, for making sure everything runs without a hitch today for this very, very unique ceremony. And a special thanks to Judge Cline's Judicial Executive Assistant, Trish Heim, for putting her amazing organizational skills to work to make this happen. Judge Cline was nominated by Governor Laura Kelly and confirmed by the Kansas Senate to fill the position vacated by the retirement of Judge Joseph Perrin, who served with distinction with this court for 30 years. His shoes will be big ones to fill. For those of you watching today who may not be familiar with what Judge Cline's new professional life will entail, let me tell you a little bit about our court. 40 states in the United States have intermediate courts of appeal, or appellate courts whose opinions can be appealed one more level to the state's highest court, which in this case is the Kansas Supreme Court. Litigants have a right to appeal the decision reached in the trial court to our court. We do not have any discretion in what cases come before us. As a result, we hear everything from a routine traffic ticket to a multiple $1 million contract dispute or personal injury case. About 75% of our caseload is criminal, the polar opposite of what it was when our court first came into existence in 1977. At that time, our civil caseloads were at 75%. So Judge Cline will be spending the majority of her time analyzing criminal trials, sentences, and analyzing the performance of defense counsel in representing those clients. When we are fully staffed, there are 14 judges on the Kansas Court of Appeals. We sit in groups of 3 to hear our cases. We are considered a high volume court, running up to 5 panels of 3 judges each every month, with up to 30 cases per panel. So that's about 150 cases a month. 11 months out of the year. If a person is dissatisfied with our decision, they can petition the Kansas Supreme Court to take the case. Of the 1,800 appeals we hear and decide every year, the Kansas Supreme Court accepts about 200 or less, and over 50% of those accepted result in our decision being affirmed. So given we are the final decision maker on the vast majority of appeals from our district courts, our responsibility to the rule of law and justice is weighty. Yet, as an intermediate appellate court, we are bound by the decision of the Kansas Supreme Court, so we cannot overrule their precedent, and we must follow the rules laid out in their decisions to the best of our ability. We are also a traveling court. In pre-COVID days, we took great pride in sending panels of 3 judges all over the state to take justice to the people. We conduct receptions to meet the public. We speak to grade schools, high schools, colleges, and break bread with the trial court judges and their staffs. It has always been one of the most popular parts of the job. Judge Cline is the 38th attorney to serve on our court in the last 43 years. She will be joining a group of judges who you will meet shortly, who are bright, caring, funny, and unwavering in their commitment to the rule of law, and who will become sort of an extended family to her. I remember 10th Circuit Court of Appeals Judge Mary Beck Briscoe, who used to sit on this court. describe her fondness of the court by explaining that one does not know the meaning and importance of collegiality until you have had to drive 6 hours together in a car across Kansas and back to hear cases. I hope this gives you a glimpse of what life will be like for Judge Cline. To begin our ceremony, I would like to take note that the Secretary of State has delivered his certification of Judge Cline's appointment to this court, and I will read it into the record. From the Office of the Governor, State of Kansas Certificate of Appointment, I, Laura Kelly, Governor of the State of Kansas, hereby appoint and commission Amy Fellows Cline as a judge of the Kansas Court of Appeals, and authorize this appointment to discharge the duties of this office upon fulfilling all legal requirements. Signed this 21st day of January, 2021, and is signed by Governor Laura Kelly and by Secretary of State Scott Schwab. Okay. Next, the court is honored. In just a moment. Next, the court is honored to recognize Paula Langworthy, an attorney with the Reddick Langworthy family law firm in Wichita and a longtime friend of Judge Cline's, to introduce her to the court.
Thank you, Chief Judge Arnold Berger. Good morning, Supreme Court justices, judges of the Court of Appeals, elected leaders, family, friends, and all of those watching this ceremony today. Thank you for sharing this great occasion with us. As the Chief Judge said, my name is Paula Langworthy, and I'm an attorney at Reddick Langworthy Family Law in Wichita, Kansas. Today, I have the great honor and privilege of introducing to you one of my best friends and colleagues, Amy Fellows Cline. I first met Amy when I was a law clerk hired to work at the predominantly male and what I initially thought intimidating law firm of Triplett, Wolf & Garretson. At the time, Amy was an associate at the firm, and she took me under her wing. Over the last 15 years as co-workers and then law partners, we developed a camaraderie and friendship that has lasted through many life, family, and career changes. While I didn't know Amy prior to 2005, it is my understanding from her family that she has always been very driven. Amy's mom told me that prior to deciding to be an attorney, Amy wanted to be a veterinarian. Her whole young life was focused on that goal, but in high school that changed. Amy fell in love with debate, and she excelled at it. Through the guidance of a good debate coach, Amy determined that she wanted to be an attorney. And once that decision was made, her focus was solely on achieving that goal. Amy graduated magna cum laude from Wichita State University. She then went on to excel at the University of Kansas School of Law. Once she became an attorney, her focus changed to being the best attorney that she could be and on serving her legal community. In 2006, Amy was named Young Lawyer of the Year by the Kansas Bar Association. Her service and her awards just accumulated from there. She was honored by the Wichita Business Journal as 40 Under 40 in 2008, and then again as a Woman in Business honoree in 2016. She has served on numerous roles for the Kansas Bar Association, the Wichita Bar Association, Kansas Bar Foundation, the Kansas Women Attorneys Association, and the Wesley E. Brown Inn of Court. She has been honored with receiving the Robert K. Wary Award from the Kansas Bar Foundation, the President's Award from the Wichita Bar Association, and the Louise Maddox Award from the Wichita Women's Attorney Association. Amy has also given up her time to teach others by developing presentations and teaching at numerous continuing legal education seminars. While serving her profession, she has also served her community. She's on the Kansas University School of Law Board of Governors and Friends of the Great Plains Nature Center. She's previously served on the Board of Directors for Kansas Legal Services and on the Wichita Salvation Army Homeless Services Advisory Council. On top of serving on the numerous boards, Amy has also provided community presentations on numerous topics, including the Kansas Consumer Protection Act. Amy's service to the Kansas Bar, her community, and her numerous awards speak volumes for Amy. However, what I want to talk about more is her as a person, as a colleague, and as a friend. When I think of Amy, numerous things come to mind: her intelligence, her dedication, her loyalty, kindness, fairness, and the list could go on. I, among many others, admire Amy for all of these traits. In fact, though I'm a bit older than Amy, she's been a mentor to me in my practice. During our time together at Triplett, Wolf & Garretson, Amy's door was always opened to me. Granted, our doors were next door to each other for most of the time, but even when they weren't, her door was open, whether to discuss case strategy, trial advocacy tips, or simply to talk me off of a cliff on some obscure issue. Amy was a person to whom I could turn. She even served and continues to serve as a mentor to me when she doesn't know it. My personality is most akin to a bull in a china shop. Amy's quite the opposite. In situations where my personality is prone to cause issue, I think of Amy and I try to incorporate her calm, level-headed, and respectful approach into my response. I always can hear Amy in my head saying, well, Paula, you might try this approach. Taking my cue from Amy has helped me on many occasions. But over the last few weeks, as I've thought about Amy and what I wanted to talk about today and her many traits, I realized that the most important trait is her humility. Humility in action can so often be misinterpreted as a sign of weakness or insecurity, but in truth, humility is an indication of tremendous inner strength. When we interact with an individual exhibiting humility, we relax into that interaction as if we're relaxing into our bed at night. We let down our guard because there's no defensiveness or judgment emanating from the other person. That is because humble people like Amy are secure in their own strengths and their own limitations. They're confident and competent in themselves and their actions. To be humble is not to think less of oneself, but to think of oneself less. That is Amy Cline. As she's sitting here listening to me today, I'm sure she's shaking her head and she's a little embarrassed by my words, but it's that humility that makes her achievements, her service, and her friendship so special. She does not do for the recognition, she does because she loves what she's doing. It is the combination of Amy's keen legal mind, dedication to service, her humility, and her love of the law that will make her a fantastic Court of Appeals judge. The state of Kansas is lucky to have Amy Cline on the bench. To steal Amy's mother's words, I am blessed to know Amy Cline. Her mother summed it up best when she told me that Amy has wholeheartedly invested into every venture of her life, and the Court of Appeals will be no different. She will dedicate her heart and soul to the court, and for that, Kansas will be blessed. Amy, you are an amazing individual and friend. I respect and admire you for all that you are, for all that you have achieved, and for all that you will achieve. Congratulations on your appointment. I am proud to call you my friend, my colleague, and now your honor. I always knew you would one day sit on the bench, and that day has come. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Langworthy. With that, Judge Cline, would you and your family please step up to the podium, including your mother, who I believe is going to be holding the family Bible today. If you want to kind of be in the middle of us here, maybe on the other side, on this side, facing the camera, so we can all see you, your lovely face. All right. So Judge Cline, please raise your right hand. Put your left hand on the Bible if you like. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Judge of the Kansas Court of Appeals? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Your husband and family now may help you don the robe, which is often a very ceremonial part of becoming a judge in investiture is the donning of the robe. And so Amy officially becomes a judge on our court as she swears the oath and puts on that robe. So with that, Judge Cline, do you wish to make any comments?
I do. Thank you.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Throughout my professional career, and particularly this last year, I've been overwhelmed by the support I received from my family, my friends like Paula, and my colleagues. Now, I expected that support from my family because that's what we do. We show up for each other, no matter the occasion, no matter the location, just like today. We challenge each other to be our best selves and make a positive difference in the world. We wholeheartedly support each other in those efforts, and we pick each other up when we falter. It's who we are. And I'm blessed to have found a husband who fits right in. He's my biggest cheerleader and my best sparring partner. Without all of you behind me, I would not be able to take this step. Today is as much your day as it is mine. I'm also grateful for the support I received from my friends. Friends who took time out of their personal and professional lives to make incredible introductions, to write wonderful letters of recommendation, and to grill me in countless mock interviews. I have truly found out who my friends are this past year, and they're amazing. I've also been blown away by the support I received from the legal community. Now, I should probably step back a bit and explain why this support in particular was so remarkable to me. When I went to law school, I didn't know one lawyer, much less any judges. My brother still talks about moving me into my apartment in Lawrence, leaving me alone in a town where I didn't know a soul. And when I graduated from law school, I really didn't know too many more lawyers. I'd worked with a few at the legal aid clinic and one at KDOT, but I didn't clerk at a firm in law school. I worked as a waitress all 3 years. But despite this rather inauspicious beginning, members of the legal profession have embraced and supported me through every step of my career. From opposing counsel like Dustin Devon, writing a note to my senior partners, telling them how well he thought I'd done in my very first jury trial, to Professor David Pierce bringing me on to help teach his oil and gas law courses to give me credibility in that male-dominated area of law, to all the attorneys and judges who have pushed me to apply for the bench over the years, forwarding every email about openings or calling me into their chambers to nudge me in that direction. I wouldn't be here without the support and encouragement that I've received for the past 20 years from members of the legal profession throughout Kansas and even across the country. I thank all of you for it. I also thank the nominating commission and Governor Kelly for selecting me to serve Kansas in this role, and the senators for confirming that choice. This past year has provided me with a real life civics lesson in how our state government works and how it works together. I've seen firsthand how hard all three branches of our government work to improve the lives of everyday Kansans. And I've seen the sacrifices that our elected officials make in order to represent all of us to the very best of their ability. I thank you for the trust that you've placed in me, which I know is not lightly given. As I said in my confirmation hearing, I will serve the law as a judge just as zealously as I serve my clients as a lawyer. I will strive to be the kind of judge that I'd want to appear in front of as a lawyer. I'll strive to be the kind of judge that I'd want deciding my case as one of the parties. And I'll strive to follow the standard voiced by Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, which is to read my opinions from the perspective of the losing party, to ensure that even if I wouldn't like the result, would I understand that the decision was fairly reasoned and grounded in the law. I started my legal career at the Docking State Office Building, where I learned the ins and outs of constitutional issues such as due process and free speech by regulating billboards and salvage for KDOT. While I worked just across the street from where we are today, the Judicial Center seemed a world away. Yet now this former junkyard lawyer has been given the opportunity to be a judge on the Kansas Court of Appeals. I'm living proof that there is no one path to achieving your goals in the law. My parents taught me that you can accomplish anything in this world, but never forget where you came from. And remember to thank the people who helped you along the way. I've been so proud of both of my children throughout this process. I can see firsthand that they have learned these family lessons. They've mirrored the steadfast support that my husband and family have given me, while also reminding me that no matter what happens, everything will be okay because we are together and we have each other. I'm happy to bring my unique and working class perspective to our court. People from all walks of life need lawyers, and problems of all types need solving. Our bench and our world thrive on a diversity of background and experience. I look forward to serving the law and my fellow Kansans in this new way, and I am grateful for the opportunity to do so. Thank you.
If you'll stay up here with me for just a
Yes,
moment.
absolutely.
I don't know. We'll just have to stay
Okay.
6 feet apart. Thank you, Judge Cline. I hate to tell you this, but your comment about being a junkyard lawyer, I know your new colleagues very well, and they are not going to let you live that down. That's going to be repeated a lot. Okay, so what I would like to do at this point is take a few moments and introduce you and everyone else here to your new colleagues who have been waiting patiently on Zoom to join this call and congratulate you. So first will be Judge Henry W. Greene. We'll see if technology really is as great as we think. Judge Henry W. Greene, with the retirement of he's gone, there he is. With the retirement of Judge Perrin, Judge Greene is currently the longest serving member on our court, having first been appointed 28 years ago. And Judge Greene hails as a native of Leavenworth, Kansas. Judge Greene.
Congratulations, Judge Cline. We're so happy to be here this morning, and I welcome you to our court. And congratulations again. Thank you.
Next is Judge Thomas E. Malone. He is a former district judge in Sedgwick County, a Wichita native, and a former chief judge of this court.
Congratulations, Amy. Welcome to the Court of Appeals. I look forward to working with you very much, and I know that you will be a great asset to our court. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have Judge Stephen D. Hill, who his distinction is he is the longest serving judge in Kansas, now in his 40th year on the bench, either a district court bench or the Court of Appeals. He's a former district judge from Miami County, and he also is originally from Wichita. There seems to be a theme here.
A good
Judge
one.
Hill.
Good morning, Chief, and good morning, Judge Cline. Congratulations. Welcome to the most collegial court in Kansas. And indeed, you will be hearing about junkyards pretty soon. So we wish you well and good luck. Thank you. Congratulations.
Next, we have Judge G. Gordon Atchison. Judge Atchison was a litigator in Overland Park. Oh, excuse me, I missed Judge Boozer. I'm sorry. I'm missing a page here. Okay, Judge, we have Judge Michael E. Boozer, or Michael B. Boozer. Judge, I have really messed this one up, and I will not live this down. Judge Boozer is from Des Moines, Iowa, but is a graduate of Shawnee Mission South High School and a former prosecutor and litigator before taking the bench.
Amy, welcome. My favorite law school professor was Paul Wilson out in KU years and years and years ago. He had the good fortune of representing the state of Kansas in the losing side of the state of Kansas versus Board v. Topeka Board of Education. And he wrote about his losing experience in that Supreme Court case. And he had a chapter in his book that he entitled Reflections. And I think his words may have some meaning to you today. And that is, he said, one impression stands out. Law and litigation do not supply all of the answers to human problems. Law provides minimum standards of conduct and defines basic human rights and responsibilities. Litigation provides the means to determine and enforce what the law requires, but the resolution of human conflict requires more: understanding, compassion, and mutual respect. And I hope those words guide you throughout your judicial career. Welcome to the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge Boozer. I'm glad I didn't totally cut you out of those remarks. Okay. Next is Judge G. Gordon Atchison. He's a former criminal and civil litigator from Overland Park, although originally from Cortland, New York. Judge Atchison.
Good morning. In the pre-pandemic days, I would shake your hand as you ascended the bench to join us. I'm not sure what the Zoom equivalent of that is, so let me just add my most sincere, if remote, welcome to you, and we all look forward to your joining us and working with us.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next is Judge David E. Bruns, former district judge, Shawnee County, who grew up in Kansas City, Kansas. We call him a daughter. Judge Bruns, the floor is yours.
Well, one of my favorite television shows used to be Judging Amy. So welcome, Judge Amy. It's great to have you join us on the Kansas Court of Appeals. I'd like to not only congratulate you, but to congratulate your lovely family. I'm looking forward to serving with you, and I hope that one day soon that we can meet your lovely family. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next is Judge Anthony J. Powell, former member of the Kansas House of Representatives and district judge in Sedgwick County, born in St. Paul, Minnesota. Judge Powell.
Amy, congratulations. Very excited to have you on our court, and also very excited to have another Wichitan serving on the Court of Appeals. And I'm honored to be your mentor, and I'm very excited to have some company down in Wichita. So I think we'll have a great time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
To add a little bit to what Judge Powell said, our court has a tradition of when a new judge comes on, another judge is appointed as mentor judge for that judge. And Judge Powell, who also offices in Wichita, will be serving that role and has already done a lot. It's my understanding in that role.
Yes, he sure has.
Okay, next we have Judge Kim Schroeder, former district judge in the 26th Judicial District, which I'll tell you is the very, very far southwest corner of Kansas. He hails from Hugoton and often tells us that he's closer to 3 other state capitals than he is to Topeka when it comes to getting here. Judge Schroeder.
Thank you. Good morning and congratulations, Amy, on joining this court. I openly welcome you to this court, and I hope you enjoy the continuing opportunity to serve the citizens of Kansas as a judge on this court. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have Judge Catherine A. Gardner, former practicing attorney and litigator and permanent law clerk for Federal District of Kansas, Judge Sam Crow. Judge Gardner.
Yes, Amy, congratulations. Welcome aboard. I really enjoyed the comments by your friend Paula Langworthy, and it's great to see your family there today. And I really look forward to working with you, and I also look forward to learning from you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And last, the person that relinquishes her role as baby judge today is Judge Sarah E. Warner, a former practicing attorney in Lawrence, who hails from Pittsburgh, Kansas. Judge Warner.
Congratulations, Amy. I know how hard you have worked to get here, and I am just thrilled to have you as a member of our court and to have your perspective in all of our conversations. So welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So with that, your colleagues welcome you. We're excited for you to join the bench. We've waited a long time for you, as I know you've waited a long time to join us. So with that, this concludes today's ceremony. Sarah Stratton, the appellate reporter of decisions, is requested to make today's proceedings a part of the permanent record of this court. Thank you all for coming, both in person and by Zoom. And with that, the Kansas Court of Appeals session for today is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.